What up, friends? We are right back at it talking more golf. This week, it's the Valspar Championship Innisbrook in Tampa Bay. One of my favorite events on tour as we close out the Florida swing this time of year. It's been a wild one, an absolute wild one. From Honda to API, the players last week, that was exhausting to watch and how drawn out that got. It was also exhausting to have to look at my bets and see on this exact prop picks distribution that we lost our Louis Oosthuizen over Dustin Johnson head-to-head. Thought you had an 8-stroke lead in the final round. You'd get out of that one clean. Nope. All around, tough week. Got to take it on the chin. Got to take it on the chin. Like my boy Toto says, watching that Drive to Survive. I can tell you the show, way more entertaining than watching the races. You can watch that show and think, oh, this is cool. And you watch the race, like, this is pretty boring. I'll stick to the show. Different subject. I'm sorry. It's the end of the Florida swing. We got match play next week. Next, after that is something, and then the Masters. So it's all happening. Let's go. I've already shared too many words. So before I move on, just hit that like button. I love you. Thank you. Let's give her. Outright ads, we got to make them. Because yesterday with Rick Gaiman, we only made 3 selections. 40 to 1 Kokrak, 70 to 1 Woodland, 70 to 1 Russell Knox. And we're pretty much going to follow that theme today with these inclusions. Shane Lowry, 30 to 1. That is the pick that I've made in front of 40 to 1. There were a lot of options. Really thought about Burns. Really thought about Answer. When I recorded with Rick yesterday, Matthew Fitzpatrick was 33 to 1. Now he's 22 to 1. That's its own beast. I could do a whole podcast on debating how we got to Xander, Fitzpatrick, and Louis being the exact same odds. And all 3 of them have their own little situation. Fitzpatrick, who was super chalk at the players. I do love him this week. I'm just not betting him outright. If he wins at 22 to 1, I'm going to have to miss it and be happy for everyone who bet it, right? That's just how the game goes. Never won on the PGA Tour. Sometimes when he needs his best, it abandons him. When he's been in contention, that doesn't mean he can't win. That doesn't mean I don't believe he can win. I certainly believe he can win. Louis, it's just been forever. It's literally been forever. My daughter might be bat mitzvahed before, Louis wins again at the rate that he is going. I'm always pro Louis. As you guys have noticed, I bet Louis at the Honda and I bet Louis at the players at like 50 and 60 to 1. Those are the bets I guess I'm willing to back on Louis. I've also joked on some of the content I already did. The last thing like anyone wants to do is get on this train of like betting Louis. I bet plenty of losers, not calling Louis one of them from the outright market. That's your own story. But I don't know. I don't want to get on this like chasing a Louis win thing. So I'm not betting Louis. And I think Xander at 22, if I had to make a move, he would probably be that player. I could do that in way longer form. I'm just hyper fascinated by that dynamic this week's betting board has presented. I'm on none of them. As I told you, Shane Lowry for me played great at the Honda. You feel like that one was taken from him at the end in some respects. Credit to Sepp. And another very, very strong week at the AP, at the players here. So Florida's been his bag. I think we can close Florida with a Shane Lowry win. Alex Noren, as someone would say. Alex Noren, 70 to 1. Bet him outright. Had him 120 to 5 to 1 last week. I think he sets up nice. I'm not bailing. Noren, 20 to 1. 70 to 1. Breathe, Fienberg. We don't have to talk like the Micro Machines guy. Alex Noren, 70 to 1. Harold Varner, 75 to 1. Listen, this comes in as low as 40 to 1 on the odds checker grid. I'm going over to FanDuel, taking that 75. How do you put this? I don't want to embarrass the book who's posting a 40, so I'm not going to name them, but it's why we use the odds checker grid, friends. Alex Noren, he's at 70. There's also a 45 on that grid. So we shop, we get the best number. That is what we do. Lowry, Noren, Varner added to the outright card. I'm scorned on the head-to-heads. They've been kind, but that last week Louis thing, really, it's got me spinning. So let's give some head-to-heads here. Woodland, we're going to play, top 40s. Woodland, we're going to play top 40 plus 100. This comes in as low as 137 on the odds checker grid. We've bet Gary outright. Obviously, I believe in the T40. Club down course. Gary is trending. I'm seeing a ceiling week for Gary coming. Hopefully in the near future. Hopefully he doesn't have to battle like Justin Thomas to win this thing on Sunday. Lanto Griffin plus 140 for that top 40 over at FanDuel. I see it as low as minus 110. Lanto is probably the only guy flirting with 100 to 1 right there that would have potentially bet this week. So Lanto Griffin plus 140. I've already mentioned Harold Varner plus 115 for the top 40, also showing a minus 137. We're going to play that big number. Listen, Varner was just pounding birdie opportunities last week. Unfortunately, he couldn't make good on them. I just love his attitude. I saw him speak, while in contention. I saw him speak after the round. Seems like such a fighter, such a battler. No one feels sorry for anybody. He doesn't feel sorry for himself. That win in Saudi Arabia a few weeks ago, I love just seeing this form come over. Give me Harold Varner to the win and the plus 115 T40. Matthias Schaub, 7th place in Puerto Rico, 7th place at the Honda. So let's keep riding Matthias Schwab. I want to say the Austrian. Be embarrassing if I got that wrong. The Austrian plus 175 for that T40. We are riding it. And Martin Laird. Too many people I've spoken to this week, including myself. Martin Laird is just like the model popping man this week. So I'm sure he'll probably be popular. I don't know if I have the gumption to bet him to win because I don't see that coming. But plus 170 over at DraftKings. It's minus 110 using that odds checker grid on a low end. 10 straight events where he has gained strokes tee to green. What a perfect event to bring that stat into. You could maybe even be more bullish with your Laird situations, T20s, T40s, maybe even T10s, because I'm worried in the DFS aspect, he's going to be so popular that you might not want him in your DFS lineups, but you could feel really comfortable investing in him in other ways that you could potentially cash in. So that is it for me, friends. What do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 5 T40s. We got 3 outright ads. It's Valspar week. Next week, one of my absolute favorites of the year. I know I say, I love this event because I do love them all. But match play, the season is a grind. It can be very exhausting, can be very exciting, it can be very profitable, it can kick you in the nuts sometimes. So anytime we get to change the vibe, I know some of the model and the outright betting perspectives, match plays it's a hard event to sort of put together, but I absolutely love it. I love it. Pre-tournament, I don't like the pod system, but all through it, I love it. It's my March Madness. It really is. For all your March Madness information, best bets, trends, anything you need for March Madness, the college basketball version, use Odds Checker. They'll get you covered every which way. They probably got a pick for every single game, futures, all that jazz. Oddschecker.com/US. I'm Geoff Fienberg. Let's have a fun Valspar week. Let's end Florida with a win, please.